And one, two, three, action.
Welcome to another edition of the Higher Learning Podcast. We're back again this Sunday afternoon with beautiful co-host Deborah. How you doing today?
Great.
How was that traffic?
A little congested
A little.
coming in, and then it was pretty smooth the rest of the way.
Yeah, I know you used to it, but still that traffic just never gets old to me. Like it's equally fucked up every time.
It's crazy.
I think that's why I started smoking again because I just couldn't handle being regular in that traffic coming from LA every day. I worked out there for 3 years and I just couldn't take it. I was
You
like,
committed.
man, all 3 years.
Ooh,
I had to be there
it's
at
stressful.
6. Yes.
Yeah.
Having to be there at a job that is so big on attendance to where they're like talking about you get points for attendance and so you rushing there in the morning and the afternoon, 2 o'clock hit, we all know.
What creates anxiety, I think.
That's why I was like, you know what,
So
come here.
everybody has anxiety when they're driving because everybody has,
Niggas can't drive. Like, you know what I'm saying? People in LA can't drive.
It's crazy. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunday, this Sunday, I want to talk a little religion. I was raised Christian and still am to a degree, but a lot of us are raised Christian, Black people. I was raised in a strict Christian home, so we were taught that Christianity is the only way. Any other religion is the devil or demon or satanic based. You had to be at church all the time. You was gonna go to hell if you did something bad. It was to me, Christianity instilled a lot of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the same time, it kind of saved me from a lot of shit too.
Mm.
So just growing up and learning and dealing with other religions such as Jehovah's Witness, I studied a little bit of that. I heard about the true Hebrew thing. I dibbled and dabbled in pretty much everything and listened. And come to find out, every one of them think that they're the only true religion. All of them do. So at this point, as an adult, I'm fucking hella confused. I don't know what the hell to do. Is it Jehovah? Is it Jesus? Is it the true Yahweh? Is it Allah? What are your thoughts on this religion thing? Like how did you grow up and how do you know what I'm saying, deal with religion today, especially with a lot of people?
Let's see. Well, I grew up Christian as well. So my household, my mom wasn't super strict, but she definitely made it known like I was going to Sunday church, Wednesday Bible study, Thursday children's choir, youth choir, adult choir, praise and worship team. And Saturday sometimes I had a rehearsal.
Damn.
So you talking about I was at church probably about 3-4 times a week.
Sound like me.
So it was definitely embedded in me. And then you didn't even have no choice. Like
right.
When I turned about 18, I thought I was gonna start going out. It was like, oh, don't think you finna go out and then can't get into church. What? Yeah, that wasn't happening. But religion is interesting because I believe that just from becoming awakened and being conscious of just history, black people being enslaved, I think they utilize religion in a lot of ways to control us.
That's a scare tactic and a form of control.
Yeah, because they teach you to fear God. Right. But if God is within you, then do you fear yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Damn. So be scared of myself, huh?
Which we know a lot of people already aren't. We struggle with being in tune with who we are.
Right.
And then when we feel things or want to be a certain way, we are afraid of that because of religion and what the Bible says, which I believe there's a lot of truth in the Bible.
Facts.
But it creates fear.
Right.
And so you have all these people running around, I'm Christian, but you fucking whoever, fornicating.
Yeah. Right. Right.
The pastor.
Right.
Whoever.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, real shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I know our church people have relationships with folks that was married.
Yes.
All that. Yeah. So
cheating on someone with that person in the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ministers messing with women, different women, married. So You know, I ain't seen all that in my church.
Me too. In several churches. I've been to several and seen it all.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know, I just think that a lot of times religion took away from who you really are.
Right. Right.
Just because of here.
Right.
It was a mental, I don't want to say enslavement, but I think that was a design almost.
Right.
But, yeah.
It's like when they said back in the day, we weren't allowed to read as Black people. They said no reading. Y'all got to stay dumb. What's the one material they gave us to read? It was the Bible. So for people who are trying to suppress us, why the fuck would they give us something that's supposed to be so right?
And to empower us.
Right. Yeah. So that don't make any sense. I think it's something in there says something in the nature of obey your slave master. There's something like that. I forgot what scripture it was. I'm bad with that, but I know for a fact something says that.
Yeah.
And they use that to have us really believe obey your slave master. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, and also what I noticed with Christianity is that it teaches you to you don't work on within, you work on everything outside.
Right.
So you do become so judgmental.
Right.
I think I was more judgmental as a Christian versus like me now as an adult, and plus maturity, but still, like, the judgment that is created to me from Christianity is just more judgmental and hurtful to people.
Yeah.
Because you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. You're supposed to be doing this, but then you not worried about yourself.
Man.
Yeah. And it doesn't empower you from within.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've seen in the church was when someone get pregnant, right? So if somebody get pregnant, if they in a choir or they're a dancer, they'll sit them down. They'd be like, "Oh, y'all shacking up." And I hate that. First of all, shacking up is not in the Bible. I don't care what nobody says. It does not say shacking up is a sin. Having sex is a sin, but shacking up, living with somebody is not a sin. Stop preaching that false ass fucking doctrine. Stop it. Like, it's not correct. But they say that you're shacking up when someone get pregnant. But then you see all these other couples coming to church, holding hands, not married, ain't nobody saying shit to them. But since y'all see the sin, you want to point it out. Like, that's what I don't like. Or you want to point out somebody that was fornicating because they got pregnant, but then you ain't gonna talk about your nephew that was drunk last night at the party, that you seen that was drunk. You ain't gonna blast him in front of the whole church. These are some of the things that I experienced with a lot of these churches. And I'm not against the church. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not talking against the church. I'm not talking against Christianity. I still believe a lot was in the Bible. But I'm just saying, how do we just so believe everything? We don't want to question some of that.
I think the Bible's contradicting.
Yes, it is. You're lying if you say it's not.
I think it's very contradicting. And then they say, well, it's the Old and then it's the New Testament. So, yeah, I hear.
There are stories that are unfinished. One of my biggest ones is Adam and, what's his brother's name? Adam and, not Adam, but Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel, right?
Yeah.
So after he killed Abel, he says Cain ran away to the other side of Eden and married his wife. And everyone skips over that. I'm like, wait, pause. You described the heavens, the earth, the garden, all this shit in detail. Yeah. And you forgot to talk about the other side of the Garden of Eden with all those people over there. Who the fuck is over there? Why is that not relevant that we don't talk about that other side of Eden that Cain ran to and found his wife? Where did those people come from? I thought it was only Adam and Eve. So they say, and then people say, well, the Bible is not in order. They suddenly jumped when Genesis, and after that they jumped. Like, no, stop it. Stop. That story is incomplete. Stop playing with me. Nobody is able to give me a legit answer. No, I've talked to many Bible experts, people that think they know, and they all say stupid shit when I ask them that question. And that's what I'm talking about, the whole. So, you know, it's a deep topic to go down. We could go there all day.
Oh, so. Yeah, I took a debate class, a religious debate class. And most of my professors in college were actually atheists. Damn. And then you find out why. Right. And then as I got older, I really found out why. Right. So it's interesting. Definitely interesting.
You know, my mom, she would be probably whooping my ass right now. She's the biggest Christian. You know what I'm saying? And Mama, I'm not doing that. Trust me. I know you in heaven getting mad at me, but you know, trust me. I'm not turning against. I'm just questioning some things. You know. So moving on to the next. School, right? I think in school there's a lot of things that are wasted. As an adult, how many times have you solved an algebraic expression, like outside of a piece of paper? How have you applied that in life? How many times have you used a world history lesson as an adult? How many times are you gonna learn world history? Oh, why we gotta take world history in 7th, 8th, 9th? Y'all teaching us the same bullshit every year.
I couldn't stand it.
Instead of teaching us,
it was horrible.
credit building classes,
yeah,
money management, accounting, investing. Why are these classes not a requirement? So in America, is it designed for us to fail? Are they setting us up to fail with this traditional school?
Absolutely. I think it's just about what they want you to know, control. They were gearing us to work for their jobs.
Right.
So you can teach us too much. You know what I mean?
Right. We become the jobs, right?
Yeah, we would create jobs.
Right.
But they want us to work for these, companies.
Right.
So why give us information that's going to empower us financially?
Right.
Especially as like a people, Black people, like we knew about. I feel like at least my parents' generation, it seemed like none of them empowered our generation to like invest.
Right.
I know that granted some people, but not really. Like not when it came to stocks and stuff like that. My parents' generation were like a lot about city jobs, county jobs.
Right.
But get that county job, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Better get in
benefits.
Post office, get them benefits.
Get that retirement going.
Man, telling us this at 16. I don't give a fuck about retirement. I'm 16. I give a damn about no benefits. I'm 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all talking about? Yeah. I would get mad at them, but I started thinking about it, and I thought about it on a deeper level. Our parents' generation, they're a generation and a half removed from segregation. So they're still trying to, that previous generation was trying to figure out how to get on their feet. The crack epidemic hit, and then our parents were just trying to figure out how to survive. So they didn't know how to invest.
I actually had a conversation with my parents through text, and I ended up telling them that they were mentally enslaved. I said, y'all generation is mentally enslaved. Yes. Or was,
is.
And somebody got pretty mad at me for saying that.
It's true.
But it's true.
It's
like
true.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
My father. Generational wealth.
Right.
All that. So
yeah.
It is what it is,
My father, he's 67 and he still works his ass off. He works at a manual labor job, 40 plus hours a week, and he over there smiling. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck are you smiling about, man? You should be fucking traveling the world, drinking on some nice drink, eating on some good food, chilling with your grandkids, and you working your ass off. How long are you gonna do this? So you gonna work till you die? We lost Mama 23 years ago. You should be chilling, bro. And he's just so, and he taught. I was so different that at 10, I saw the world different. I said, this world got me fucked up. I won't be working for no fucking corporate job till the rest of my life. I'm going to figure out how to retire at 40. Watch me. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't been easy. I found out it's much harder than I thought, but you know what I'm saying? Like just the school system. Did you go to school? College? Where'd you go?
Let's see. I went to Cal Poly Pomona.
Oh,
and I went to University of Phoenix online program.
I went to University of Phoenix as well, and I'm like $45,000 in debt.
We don't want to get on student loans. And most of us are, a lot of us are hurting because of that.
It dings your credit. I'm like, what the hell does a school loan got to do with an apartment?
They lie. They fucking lie, because I remember when we got the loans when we were in school, they told you that it was seen as an investment.
They did say that. Not as a debt.
Not as a debt.
Right,
a negative.
Right.
But they lied.
It hit your credit hard. My credit score would be.
And when you're trying to buy a house, it's considered, they take into consideration income to debt ratio.
Right.
So it hurts you to buy a home.
Right. Exactly. See?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
The system, man. This fucked up system with the school.
Manipulation,
Yeah, exactly. And so many classes that, like I said, my kids, they be questioning me all the time. Like, Dad, why we got to take this class? Why we got to take that class? School is stupid. Like, and I want to tell them to shut up and just do it, because I did it, but why do that? Why not have that dialogue with them? I'm like, you guys are right. This is stupid. You know what I'm saying? You don't need math after 5th grade, really. As long as you know to add, subtract, do a little bit of fractions, a little bit of decimals, a little bit of that you apply. You know how to count some bread. Unless you're doing construction, you don't fucking need math.
You're right.
Why do you need to take math to graduate high school? It's a waste of time.
Yeah, because division, geometry, I think it depends on, like you said, construction, depends on what you're doing. Architect, being an architect, stuff like that.
It should be optional.
Yeah.
If you want to be an architect or something like that, take geometry. And when I was in high school, it was called Course 2. That's what it was called. What was that? Course 2. You know, those are some of the things that I'll be thinking about, man. I'll be thinking I'm like doing too much, but I guess, you know.
No, I think you have a good point. I mean, if they have money management, financial literacy, if they had like accounting, you know, like if they had those type of classes, math classes,
right?
You would talk about kids that are preparing themselves to learn how to budget,
right?
And be smart enough to maybe not get that credit card at 18 and, you know, spin it up. You know what I'm saying? So
I did.
Yeah. But that's not what they want.
No,
they want you to be, you know, ignorant. They want you to, you know, use up your credit in a negative way when you're in your 20s or whatever, and then work on it as you can.
Right. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I got to 18.
That's what they
all
want.
The cards.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It just fucked up my shit.
That's what they want. Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. I'm gonna pivot a little bit and talk about medicine. Yeah, so when you get a headache,
like what's on your shirt?
Yeah, this is the good medicine, but we're gonna talk about the bad medicine first.
Okay.
That's supposed to be the good medicine. Tylenol, Advil, NyQuil, Motrin. These are things that sold on our counters. So whatever sold in our stores is supposed to be good for us, right? Does anybody read those ingredients? How they make this shit?
Well, I think Tylenol has on the back, like, basically you can't consume too much because it does something to, like, your kidneys or something crazy.
Right.
I think that's it. Well, actually, I'm going to say probably all pharmaceutical medications.
Right.
Do something to your, like, kidneys,
liver, all type of shit.
Well, you look at dialysis. It's a huge money-making business.
Yes.
And you're going to see more pop up because you talking about your kidneys. If it's not filtering whatever crap that you've been taking, you know, say you got high blood pressure. Right. That's pretty prevalent.
Right.
So you taking high blood pressure medicine, which they say does a lot of damage to your kidneys.
Right.
So, but that leads into dialysis.
Right. Where they want you to go.
Millions of dollars. Billions, I would say.
Yeah, it's always about some damn money, man.
It is. Always.
And when we look closer at it, we give these drugs to kids. And we safely say, because the doctor said it's okay, give them some Tylenol. What? But then we got something like this cannabis plant that's grown in the ground, and we're locking niggas up for 20 years in the 90s because they got a dying bat. But in reality, this plant has so much healing in it. Headaches, pain, body aches, everything you could think of, hunger. You're not able to eat. You're not able to keep full down. But then we locking people up, and we just now fucking making it legal in 2021. Have you ever thought about why?
Well, it's always about money. Pharmaceutical companies, like if you ever met a pharmaceutical rep, they're basically selling drugs.
Drug dealers on the
phone, just a drug dealer. Like, and they make, you know, I remember I met one guy. He made like I think about 6 figures, over 6 figures. Yeah, selling drugs.
Selling drugs.
Yeah, and then you know the object of the game is to push the drugs. Right. So whatever doctor, you know, whatever contract they have, their job is to push it.
Right.
So money.
And we sacrifice money for our kids' lives. Like, I want to push for, like, I swear people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I want to push to be able to prescribe kids cannabis, not to smoke necessarily, but maybe to eat or to rub on their skin. I'd rather give them that over fucking aspirin. I'm sorry. Like, I don't trust the man-made bullshit. I just found out tilapia was fake fish 5 years ago. I didn't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been eating that bullshit all my life.
Well, they take an organism from the real fish or whatever, and then they created the tilapia. Yeah. I
was looking like I ain't never seen no goddamn tilapia in the ocean, man. Like, come on, what is that?
It's a man-made fish.
Man-made fish. All this shit. I never knew broccoli was fake. I'm like, I didn't know broccoli was man-made.
You said it's fake.
I love broccoli, man.
And cauliflower. Cauliflower actually has no nutrition value. That's why it's white.
Right.
You know, everything that's white
ain't got no nutrition value.
None.
Oh, rice. Oh, you right. Oh my God. Wow.
None.
Wow.
Rice. What else? Yeah, but anything white basically. No nutritional value.
Like all this time when we eating this shit, I'm like, it's a wonder why tilapia don't smell like fish.
I don't remember.
I know you don't eat meat anymore or fish, but it smells like just some meat. It don't smell like shit. And then you go to I ate salmon for the first time, and I was like, this tastes way different. This actually smells like fish. You know what I'm saying? So, I get irritated with that type of stuff because we don't pay attention enough. Yeah. You know, I know you're into the whole what's the word I'm looking for?
Plant-based.
Plant-based. Do you mess with the like holistic stuff too? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm very into herbs, natural medicine.
Yeah.
Because actually a lot of the herbs like are very healing to the body. Like you're talking about cilantro, parsley, like those are different like, you know, herbs. You're talking about let's see, lavender. You know, you're talking about the plant that creates tea tree oil. Like you're talking about these herbs that are very, very healing to the body. Lavender can help take away like headaches. If you help you go to sleep. If you rub it on the bottom of like your feet, the back of your ears, like you can mix it with some shea butter or something, and you'll relax. It helps with calming the body.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so it helps a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna need some of that lavender shit. Lavender. I like the smell.
Lavender smells good.
It smells bomb. And
you know that's plants. That's plants.
You're
So
right.
Plants, herbs, you know, it's interchangeable, but yeah.
You're right.
So you're just talking about a plant that you may use as flowers, but it's very healing.
It is. As a matter of fact, this is an embarrassing story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I had some roommates that was staying with us one time, like 6 years ago. They ended up bringing bed bugs into the house. The motherfuckers start spreading across the house. So my kids is waking up with bites. I'm like, what is that? So I had to investigate. You know, bed bugs come out at night and stuff. So I started looking. I started seeing these little ugly little things. I'm like, oh shit. Looking up home remedies. You know, at the time, pockets was kind of slim. Couldn't hire no exterminator. Couldn't throw everything away. He was gonna be sitting on shit. Lavender. Bed bugs run away from lavender.
Really?
I started spraying the couch, spraying everything.
Wow.
Nobody was getting bit. Matter of fact, it was killing them.
Oh.
Just
I didn't even know that.
Wow. I looked it up online and finally it's the man told the truth.
That's dope.
Natural shit.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep. Pivoting on to something that we don't deal with in the Black community very well, poverty. How does financial status shape you as an adult? So for example, if you grow up poor, you grow up in poverty as a man or a girl or a boy, you grow up and that transfers into your dating world. Like if you grow up poor, I think either could go two ways. You're gonna be chasing either it yourself or chasing with somebody with money because you never had that growing up, or you're gonna be accustomed to you're gonna take somebody that ain't got shit because you just got that poor broke mentality.
Right.
And on the other end, if you grow up wealthy, you're gonna be looking for somebody with the same shit, or you're not gonna lie, you're gonna look at other people a certain way because they don't got. So I noticed that just growing up as a kid, I had some white friends, right? I had white friends promoting, and they was all cool, but they little do they know, I go to their house, I'm seeing stairs. I just walk in the house, I'm like, these niggas got stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like they got stairs. Y'all got actual food, not Ritz crackers and government cheese and peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? Y'all mamas is actually in here doing this shit. Y'all got fucking big ass houses and big screens. I never seen a big screen up close in my life until I started going to these white boys' house. They didn't know I'm just infatuated to be around these niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm happy I'm here because I get to experience this. They mama say, y'all can go get something to eat out the refrigerator without asking. Our mom's like, nah, y'all motherfuckers ask every time you get something. Wash your hands. They're like, honey, go make your quesadilla. I'm like, you mean I could go make, you want something else, honey? Get whatever you want. I'm like, That's when I was like, man, damn. Like, where this been at all my life? These niggas had cars in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
Them Jeeps and Toyota Camrys with 18s on them. And, you know, these weren't even rich white boys. These were just richer than me. So I'm like, man, I had one of my best friends, my white friends. We went and got our licenses together. Me, I worked and I paid for driving school myself. Man, that's how I did it. His mom paid for his shit. We passed our test. No. We take our test. In a black family, shit, you ain't using my car for that driver test, motherfucker. I didn't have nobody for me to take the driver test. My white friend's mother, love her to this day. She let me drive her truck to take my test, pass. Wow. So he had a car waiting on him just like his other buddies. Me, I'm like 16 with a license and no car. I'm like, so I really had to just save all my bread. End up financing the car at 17. They took it back from me 2 weeks later because I was 17. I'm like, why the fuck y'all give it to me? Wow. But anyway, I lost the car and had to work. So the point is, like, people don't realize, like, how do you think that plays out on how you're raised, whether you're raised poor or whether you're raised in wealthy? Like, how does that shape you as an adult? How was your experience with that?
I think it depends on the individual person, just because you grow up poor and kind of adapt, and if you don't have that drive or motivation to have goals, or to mentally want more than whatever you had, and even perception, what is poor? What does that mean? You know what I mean? What does it mean to be rich? What does it mean to be wealthy? Right. Because if we look at what we see on TV, that's tell lie vision, right? Right. That's an illusion. Right. Like we know, a lot of the rappers and celebrities don't even really have what they appear to have.
Right. So
right, or it's the studios.
Right, it's the studio.
So really, what is the definition of wealthy? What is the definition of poor, rich?
That's true.
So I think that it's deeper, and then it depends on the individual person.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think everybody's different,
That's true. I mean, there's levels to it. There's
sure.
Even I knew a guy that I was going to school with, and I don't think he had nowhere to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would never say it, but you could tell. And I'm like, damn, like, he's worse off than I am. Like, I'm coming to school and realizing I got one pair of shoes for the year, and the homies, they all got 5-6 pair of shoes. So I'm thinking, like, damn, why am I so broke? But I'm thinking about this nigga that ain't got nowhere to stay.
Exactly.
And I'm not thinking about that at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got to really, like you said, it's perception, it's situational. There's levels to poverty and rich. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a good point.
It is, for sure. I think, though, especially in the Black community, what it's done was poverty has definitely hurt us in the sense, you got the what do they say, the crabs in a barrel?
Yes, crabs in a barrel mentality.
Yeah. So, they say that we as a people don't have a lot, and I mean a lot as wealth, generational wealth.
Right.
Like, you see the Asians, they got stores, they got whole little areas. Now, granted, they don't want us to have it, we know that, but could we have it if we actually really came together and did? I actually tried to do a susu. Did you ever hear about it? The susu?
What's a susu?
A susu basically is where, I get 2 people to pay like $500, and then those 2 people, so you put it in like kind of like a pot, and then the 2 people that I get, they get 2 people to put it in $500, and then those 2 people get 2 people, and basically you switch.
Oh,
I'm probably not describing it all the way right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that was floating around last year.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
And I tried it.
Yeah, I tried it too.
And I tried to, work with my people, and my people couldn't get 2 people.
Right.
It was hard.
It was hard
because nobody trusts each other.
It
was a good example, and I knew it was a risk.
Yeah.
And I was okay with taking that risk.
Of course.
So I knew it was a chance I wouldn't get it back, right? Because the goal, I think, was to get like 2,000 back. Right. So, but a lot of people didn't trust us.
Right.
But to me, it could have worked if it actually played out.
Right. It makes sense.
It did. It
makes
did.
Sense.
And then you have people doing it where they was only looking out for their people,
right?
And then when it came to you got to get your people.
You got to get yours. Yeah.
So I tried. Yeah. And I was just like, dang. Yeah. We gotta do better.
We gotta do better. I think I lost like a rack on that last year. You know, I was a little hot. You know, I lost the rack on it.
Yeah, I lost 500.
I lost the rack. I joined 2 of them. You know? I was like, you know what? Niggas is getting paid. Let me throw some in here and here too. And our return was 8,000 on both. So I'm like, 1,000 for 16, y'all. Man, give me that.
Yeah.
And like you said, the logic on it is good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense, but
it's like we couldn't get that far.
We can't because
we couldn't get that far. And then you had a couple people that said, well, you know, it worked for me. It worked for me.
Right.
And then it couldn't work. It didn't work for the whole flower. Like some people call it the
flower.
flower.
There we go. Flower.
Right.
Flower.
Yeah, it wasn't working for everybody. So, you know, it just kind of showed where we were at.
Yes.
Because they say, when I Googled it, I think it was in the Latin culture. It was in a couple like cultures where they do this on a regular, yes. Or they put money in a pot and they use it for.
They rotate it.
They rotate it.
I had that at a job one time.
Oh, okay.
It was a nursing home. All the nurses, mostly Mexican, they had a pot to where you would put, what was it? I'm probably fucking this up, but it was like maybe $100, $200 every check or something, and then your turn will come around every 6 months. Every 6 months you get a lump sum of like 5 or 10 racks, something like that. But I'm like, that shit could actually work if everyone actually did the shit.
Yeah, but why we don't do it?
Because we're selfish. We want to stunt. I want to stunt on you. I want to have more than you. You know what I'm saying?
And then where does that come from? You know, we know a lot of the mentality we have now comes from slavery. We understand that, but it's so fucked up because we are the only group that struggles with, as a collective, financially.
Right.
I mean, the Asians, they have their communities, they have their stores. You know, granted, a lot of them have a lot of their wealth has came from us.
Right.
The hair. You know what I mean?
Right.
The beauty industry, all that, you know.
Right.
So, you know, but it's just as a collective. So I think that just period as Black people, it's created like the kind of that crab in a barrel mentality. Right. Even though you do have some of us that have made it out, you know, whatever.
And we still ain't made it out though.
Right. Not as a collective.
No. And we have a long way to do that. That's all for this episode. We're gonna continue talking about that on the next one. But thank you for tuning in to the Higher Learning Podcast. I appreciate you guys. We got co-host Deborah here tonight. Thank you.